What is a dream farmer? That is the topic of this episode of the Dreamfarmer Podcast. My name is Rylan. I am the CEO of Dreamfarmer Incorporated. And Dreamfarmer is, in a sense, my word. Now, for clarity, Dreamfarmer is one word. Two words put together, Dreamfarmer, right? And it stands for an entrepreneurial learner who creates their own systems for achieving their goals and their dreams. Now, there's two parts to a dream farmer. You have the entrepreneurial learner, and then you have the part where you create your own system or systems for achieving your goals and your dreams. And the way that this kind of started off with, it started with me coming out of this business situation. I was a part of a financial consulting group, and I learned a lot of things about real estate, land development. I learned a lot about utilizing attorneys properly for business use, like reviewing contracts and things of that nature. I learned a lot about business. I learned a lot about public speaking, seminars, all that good stuff. I learned so much during that time, but it turned out to be a huge Ponzi scheme. And so when everything kind of hit the fan and the senior consultants were getting charged with all of these different fraudulent accounts, felonies, I decided that whatever I was going to do next, I was going to make sure that I educated myself enough to know that this person that I'm working with, or this organization that I might be working with, or whoever it is that I'm representing, I know who they represent and how they represent themselves. Like I can basically, my goal was to basically know how to call bullshit when I see it, because at that time I couldn't call it. You know, I was given a lot of warnings. Several people internally have told me, something ain't right. But me being young and naive, I still stuck around. I still wanted to believe that all of what I was hearing about what was going on wasn't true. Now, luckily, I wasn't really in the organization like that as far as me being on any type of documents or anything. But I did learn a lot from helping the CPA, the one who was doing everybody's taxes. I learned from being the technical support for the different seminars that were going on throughout the week. I was really good at helping with the certification, with registration, anything that I could with the academy that was attached to it. And, I really wanted to take that experience and not just flush it down the drain, because I did learn a lot. But once everything hit the fan, I took all of that and I created in my mind this place for me to learn, this academy for me to learn. Because the last thing that I was involved in with that organization was really the academy. And I was so into it that it was like, okay, let me do that. But let me teach professionals how not to get got over, if that makes sense. Because that's what we were experiencing in this organization. We were being used, and a lot of money was being funneled in inappropriately and being distributed inappropriately. I just didn't want to be a part of that. I didn't want to run into that. I didn't want other people to run into that. If there was anything that I can help with professionals is, understand what you're learning. Look around you, because we were got. Even with prepaid legal available to us to make sure that the contracts were appropriate and legal, there were still things that were being done behind the scenes that were not. And at first sight, we should have recognized that. We should have questioned a lot of those things. But people didn't, and they're paying the price. So with me not having any type of attachment to this organization like that, I was able to take my experience and apply it to my purpose. So I already knew and was being intentional at this point about what I really wanted. But it wasn't until that dude, that guy that I was messing with, to where I said, you know what? I'm going to call it Dreamfarmer, because it's going to help professionals learn their learning. I want them to learn how to surface their purpose through learning themselves. And what I went through going through this, being a part of this Ponzi scheme, this organization that was running this Ponzi scheme, is I learned that all of the clues were around us, but nobody was questioning it. Nobody was doing the research. Nobody was trying to research what the process was that they should be looking at, how they should be looking at it. Because there were a lot of different red flags going on for somebody who was a lot more experienced in the real estate development and financial sector. I wasn't. I was very, very naive at that time. I was in my early 20s. I was just transitioning into my 20s. So I was super naive, super pumped about, learning, but still scared, and not confident in myself. But I was there. I was present. I was young. I was ambitious. But now I am strategic. I can see and I can pull from the experiences from that. And that's exactly what I did. So Dreamfarmer came about. So now the mission has become, let me teach professionals how to become entrepreneurial learners. There is no pressure for anybody to have a business, especially right now with COVID-19 going on. A lot of people are feeling the pressure to, I got to start a business. I have to do this because, my job is not hiring anymore, or I can't work there, or I don't have the space or the means to be able to work from home. Whatever the case may be, you can still be entrepreneurial and not own a business. You don't have to be an entrepreneur, if that makes sense. You might be sitting on an idea that can be producing for you right now. Maybe making home plates, or using your hobby in graphic designs to create t-shirts and do a t-shirt company. Or maybe you are not able to go back to your salon and cut hair. So, there are websites that you can run and market beauty hair sites, beauty supply stores. There's a lot. So that's what and who a Dreamfarmer is. A Dreamfarmer is an entrepreneurial learner who creates their own systems for achieving their goals and their dreams. And so with that being said, look out for my next podcast episode, where I start breaking different elements of what a Dreamfarmer is and how you can be more entrepreneurial in your learning and start turning those ideas into an income for you. Make it work for you. You have the power to be able to do that. So anyways, let me get off my soapbox. Thank you guys for tuning in onto this episode of What or Who is a Dreamfarmer. And I look forward to delivering the next message or the next nugget to you guys in the next episode. So look out for the next episode, episode 3. Don't know what it's called just yet, but just look out for it. If you have not been to my website, don't forget to go to my website, dreamfarmer.org. I do dabble into some options trading. I also have a few journals out there. I have an options trading journal. I also have an idea tracker journal. We'll talk about that in another episode. But go ahead and check out dreamfarmer.org. Until next time, happy learning, Dreamfarmers. Happy learning. See you next time. Ciao.